Okay, hi. So today I want to talk about getting in tune with your pain in your body. So if you have a lot of pain and you're chronically ill, chances are you're carrying pain in your muscles, your tissues, your bones, your nerves. Um, your core holds a lot. Your back core holds a lot through here, right through here. Um, where your nervous system and your spine runs. You hold a lot of pain in your neck, your jaw, your face, your sinuses, your head, your brain. So a lot of the pain comes in this general core area. And you may have less pain in your hands or your feet or your core. So this is more for nervous system based pain, head, neck, chest, back, heart, shoulders, any of these areas. So when you're working with a lot of pain and you want to do stretches, the general idea that I want to give you is to get a mat and get down on the floor. So I'm just going to try to back up here and point this downwards. So I don't know if you can see. There you go. So the first order of business when you have a lot of pain is to get down. Well, we can't quite see that. So let me see. Is that better? Okay. So the first thing is you want to get down on the ground. Okay, you want to feel what it feels like. So basically there's no core set of exercises. You want to do a lot of stretching and rocking. So you can do a lot of things like, and you can look at yoga classes for this, but a lot of ups, right? We do a lot of cats and cows, right? These kinds of things are great. But I find, coming down like this is a great stretch for your back. Going up like this is a good stretch. The problem with yoga classes, and the problem that I find with yoga classes is that, or any kind of yoga program that you're doing, is that you're following along and you're just trying to get in shape and hold the poses, but you're not listening to your own body. So yoga and the fundamentals of yoga are for breath. So yoga trains you to breathe and to be in the moment and to hold a pose and notice your body. And you can start to associate feelings, trapped feelings in your nervous system that are in your body. Now, I know this sounds a little woo and it sounds a little out there and crazy, but you're trying to connect to your own body. You're trying to feel where you feel the pain, where you feel the resistance and the tension. And you want to work your way into that. And then allow yourself to sit there and breathe and hold that where you're feeling the tension and resistance. And then ask yourself, or sit there with the emotion or feelings that make them up that you want to breathe through. So this is what I call sort of, emotional and pain release technique, whatever you want to call. So you're going to do a lot of rolling. So the first thing you might do is just find a spot, where you feel tension, and then you breathe into it. The idea is to go very slow and let your body lead. So you can find the tension wherever you are. And then you go slow. So for me, if I was to start on my back, say, I might do some rolling to sort of work it out first to get a little bit of limber. Get in tune with my body. And then for me, I often start with this stretch because I have a lot of pain in my back and shoulders. So I'll often start with the stretch like this, and I'll just allow myself to feel it. And I might move only a half an inch to the right and then feel the resistance, and another half an inch kind of rolling to the right, and then another half an inch to the right. And so we just kind of hold it or even go into it a little further. So for me, I might say, I'm gonna roll this way, and I can feel that all across my back shoulder blade. So I'm just gonna stay here and breathe and hold it. And this might take, 5 minutes. It might take 10 minutes, or it could take a half an hour if that's the spot I want to focus on. Go a little further. I might come and try the other side, right? But when you're in a position where you find resistance, you want to hold it. I'll do a lot of this. So when I stretch my hands out in front, I can feel it all the way down the back of my spine. And I might just hold this. It doesn't even look like I'm stretching, but I can feel it all through here. So I'll hold, and I can feel it like, oh my gosh, now it's radiating up my head and into my headache and my eyes. And I'll hold this, and I'll just breathe. And I might come down a little to see what happens. Oh, I can feel it tighter. So I might bounce just a little and hold it. So I might work at this stretch for the entire time. Just coming down little bits at a time, doing these tiny little bounces. If this is my movement, I'm just trying to see if I can come down. So I guess the point to this is that you want to roll, rock, just sort of find those spots, and you don't want to worry about what it looks like, what kind of yoga pose. Oh, hello, Molly. What kind of yoga pose it is, what it looks like. Oh, that's not proper form. None of that. That doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is, have you hit your resistance? Do you feel the pain? Do you feel the pressure? Do you feel a resistance, and do you feel a tightness and a pain? And then just breathe into that and hold it as long as you can. Meditate in that pose. Just basically do a lot of breathing and just thinking about what's going on. What emotions did you have today? What haven't you liked so far about your day? What things do you wish you could change? What's bothering you? Is there anything bothering you? Right? So these are the types of questions that you want to ask yourself about when you're in a pose or when you're feeling resistance. So, this is what I do as often as I can. Ideally, you want to do this every day. And you can do it as part of your meditation. This is meditation. This is yoga. It doesn't have to look like yoga, and it doesn't have to look like meditation. This is sort of like a working, breathing, moving yoga where you're finding your pain and your own resistance, and then you're breathing into it, you're listening to it, you're asking yourself, what are you bothered about? And you're trying to release. It's all about releasing slowly and letting your own fascia sort of, if you're doing neck exercises, you might hold this for a long time and just do a tiny little bit, right? If you have a bad neck, instead of all these head twirls and all this stuff, you might just want to do one pose, just sort of back and forth. And you might do this for 15 minutes before you even go to the other side. And you might do this for 10 or 15 minutes before you ever attempt, little movements like this. And then eventually you'll roll your whole neck. But that's not what it's about. It's like finding that particular pain and resistance and just holding it, breathing into it, just allowing your body to relax, and knowing that you're not going anywhere. You don't have to go to another position. You don't have to hold an intense yoga position and just breathe. That's awkward and is actually causing your back more pain. You can combine yoga and exercise and movement and stretching all into one practice, and this is how I do it. So I hope that that is helpful. Give it a try and see what you think.